Okay guys, here's another video of a game that I actually played this morning. It's Monday the 10th of August today. I think it's the 10th, yeah, 10th of August. And although I played it on Pandanet, again I'm reviewing it on OGS because the tools for reviewing are so good. The reason I want to go through this game is because there were a couple of elements that related to a tutorial I did at the weekend. On Sunday, yesterday morning, I did a video lesson with Ben, one of my US students, and we were talking about the 3-3 invasion under the 4-4 and what the standard patterns are around that, and that occurred in this game, so it's worth going through and having a look at that. So here's the game. I'm playing black here, so my opponent was one stone stronger than me, so I played, as is normal for me at the moment, as black, a Chinese opening, so 4-4 top right, 3-4 lower right, wait for my opponent to move, and then play the low Chinese. My opponent did a similar move on the other side, so we've set up two territorial areas. I've got the right hand side of the board, he's got the left, like two armies facing off against each other, and so I get to make the first approach. And so I approach low at the 4-4, and notice this is called a knight move approach, so f3 is a knight move relationship to the 4-4 stone at d4, and white did a low pincer. Now the problem with the low pincer is if black jumps something like this, then white can get a lot of territory in the corner and on the side. And so the standard response, if you're low pincered, so here's the stone here, if the A stone is low pincered, is dive into the corner on the 3-4 under the 4-4, and this is what I was talking about. So 3-4 is sitting under the 4-4, and that means white has got to choose now which way to block, and white can either block on the top side like this and build a moyo in that direction, so build a moyo at the side of the screen, or white could choose to block like that, in which case black would live in this area but white would knock this stone out of play. That's where we are. So white in the game blocked that side. I think that was the correct move. Black played here, white played here. Black makes this move, which means that black is now unconditionally alive. There's nothing white can do to kill those black stones, so black's alive in the corner, and white plays this move. This finishes off this Joseki, and notice we've got this double tiger shape here, sorry, double knight move here. There's a knight move relationship between g5 and e4, and another knight move, so that effectively seals black into the corner and white gets the outside, and that's considered a reasonable exchange. So I've now taken with about 10 points the lower left corner, so white ends in gote after this sequence, so black gets a sente, so I went into the top left hand corner now. 3-3 under the 4-4 again. Again, white blocks on the inside, so what white is doing here is white is building this large area of territory here, and if we count it out, this is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 deep, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11, about 50 points white should expect to get out of that area, but it's still vulnerable. It can be squashed down and flattened in this kind of area. So that's a 50 pointer. So black comes out, white harnes, black harnes, white extends once, black extends, and now white harnes. And this is a mistake. White should always go one more, and that means that this the cutting point here is then protected, because if black tries to cut, white atares once, black comes out, and white catches black in a net, and that's why this third stone on the extension is so vital to create that net shape, because it's not a ladder, because black has this stone here and this, so it would be a favourable ladder to black if that stone wasn't present and the net didn't work. So actually white's mistake here was to play this hane, because that leaves a vulnerability and a cutting point behind at g17. So the correct move here for white would have been here, and then black would have turned here, and the Joseki would have ended there. And actually, in this respect, that's good for white, because white has now got a super solid wall along the 17 line and is really enclosing this territory. At the same time, black gets sente, and if it was me in the game, it would be super tempting to then come in here and try and flatten down, squash or reduce the size of that white moyo. Anyway, back to the game, not too many variations. White played in the game here, leaving that cutting point. Black here, white Hane, threatening to cut at B17 and kill the black stone and the corner. Black connect, white protect. And now we see what happens here. So black cuts. White comes out this way. So black comes up. And notice when black comes up, this cut would now kill these two stones. It would look like which is why white has to go back and fix, because a black cut. So if white does something on this side, for example here, black simply cuts these in this shape, which would be a disaster for white. So after these exchanges, black comes up, white fixes, and black jumps. And black jumps here because black is unafraid of the ladder, because the ladder would come down to here and this would act as a ladder breaker. So black comes out, white pushes once, black pushes. Again, notice that white cannot cut here. If white cuts, black descends. And now the two white stones have only got 2 liberties, and black group here has got 3, black group here has got 3, so white will die. So after this, white cannot cut, so white extends, black extends, white extends, black extends, white extends, black harness. Why does black harness? Because we're liberty counting again. This white group has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liberties. 5 liberties is not enough to make 2 eyes. White can't make 2 eyes in there. But white cuts, black runs, white comes out, and is now threatening this cutting point here. So black has to respond, and black protects that cutting point with a tiger mouth. And now white jumps against black, black extends, white extends, black extends, white extends. And now when we count liberties, black here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And white here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So white will die. Black will take some damage around this stone, but actually killing these stones and taking the entire top side with access to the center here is very powerful. So at this point in the game I was feeling pretty confident. So I threw one in here. White had tired inside and I took, so again we have to count liberties. Black has now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but white has got 1, 2, 3, 4. So white takes a liberty, so black has now got 4, so black takes a liberty. White plays an Atari, but takes one of its own liberties, so white's now down to 2. 1, 2. Black connects, and black has now got 1, 2, 3, and white has only got 2. And notice that white cannot play at H19 because it's self-Atari, and white cannot play at J19 because that's also self-Atari. So this is lost. We have to turn elsewhere, and white harnesses against that stone. I had to decide if that stone was important, and it's really not. It would take a lot of effort to try and pull that stone out. So I simply extend my territory along the right hand side with this jump, giving some support to this stone but not expecting to save it. And so white knight moves down to enlarge the corner, so white is getting a reasonable number of points in the corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12, 15 points in the corner. But this white group here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's worth 15 points minimum. So black blocks, white comes up, black comes up, white comes up, black jumps on the other side to protect the corner and to protect this shape that's now developing on the right hand side of the board. White dives in and attacks and attaches. Because the black stone here is on the 3-4 point, it's lower than normal. White still comes in at the 3-3. Black Han is on the outside because black's interested in protecting these points on this side, and is prepared to let the corner go. So white cuts, black extends, white cuts, black descends, and notice white can't push again here because black will get this Atari, and when white runs this way, black gets this Atari, which means that the two stones are then cut off and going to die inside black's territory. So that's not a viable sequence, and that's just simply a matter of reading. So white Ataris, black descends, white connects to stop that happening, and black turns and takes the corner, but leaves this stone now a little weak up against white's wall. White jumps out, black descends once to strengthen and support this area of the board. White descends, black descends, white harneys to stop black bridging under at T5, and black takes to make sure that he's got eyes in the corner, and white harneys out. Black takes a vital point to develop so that white can't shut black into the corner. It would have been possible for, instead of white's move, for white to place somewhere like here, which then starts to build a relationship between these stones. And notice that because of the liberties, black can't push through here. If black tries to push from this side, white Ataris, black runs away, and then white connects out like this. So that doesn't work for black. Black's cut into two groups, and neither can black push here because white runs and again connects out. Black can cut, but then that black stone's in real trouble. The 6th stone is cut and out there on its own. And so we wouldn't expect either of those to happen. So after, in the game, after white harneyed, made a tiger mouth, black simply jumped out to increase its control over this area of the board. So white jumps, starting to pressure and reduce these stones, because these two walls, there's two black walls here, but this stone here at R9 is the only thing holding those walls together. The walls themselves are pretty heavy and pretty shapeless. It's only that stone that has any strength. So black adds another stone in a shape move to try and give so that this area has now got some eye potential inside it. And white cuts under, black turns once, white turns, black Ataris, white connects, black connects. So that's an effective reduction because it means that this area is no longer points, it's really neutral. So the only points that black has now got in this area is 9, 10, 11, maybe 10 or 11 points. It's quite small, and so that's a good reduction by white. And then white plays this big move. So this move is actually it's white making an effort to sort this area out and capture these points. And if we look at this area, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between 50 and 60 points in that area. So it's a huge area. It's a game-winning area. Because black at the moment has got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25 points at the top. 10 points in the lower left here, 35. 10 points here, 45. 55. So around the board, black has got about 55 points. And the areas I'm looking at again, here is 25, number 2, 35, 45, 55. Well, this area of whites on the left hand side is between 50 and 60, and white has also got 10 in the top right hand corner, which makes 70. So at this point I would consider that white would be ahead on the board, and it was vital, despite black winning the local battles and winning the top, to get into that area. So I attached. My aim in attaching is just to disrupt that area. I'm not going to try and live in there. I certainly can't live inside it. There's just not enough space. But I want to break in and then break out. It's like a smash and grab raid, just to trample the territory, to trample over the territory. It's a bit like your neighbour's got a beautiful lawn and you let a herd of cattle and they just tromp all over it. And what I want to do is jump on it. I'm not going to get any points there. I don't think there's any points for black in that area. But just by existing, it means I trample over that territory. So white goes that way, which I think was a mistake. So black jumps, and I jump because this stone is not an important stone. It's not doing any work here. If there are any important stones here, it's this group that are the friends of this stone here. That's the one. Those are the stones that I've got my eye on. White turns again. This is not an important stone. I can give it up. So I make a tiger mouth shape. White ataris. And again, this is not a stone that's important. White has now spent 3 stones, this one, and this one, surrounding the 1 stone at D10. So I make another tiger mouth, quite happy and quite prepared to give this one up. So white comes the other way. I don't want white now to play here and atari my stone, because that will crush black into a solid lump that's likely to die, because white is very strong and it's got this strong wall up here and now a strong wall here, and so white looks like being crushed. So I had to make a tiger mouth again and jump to try and get some space and some shape in my stone. So this is very light and flexible play. So white takes this one. And the only move that black had that I could see that might work in this was to descend. If I don't descend, if I try and come out here, then white simply gets this atari, and even if black connects, white joins under, and the black stones are now floating, and they've still got to get out of this sack formed by that shape there. For that reason, move 99, I descended, and the point of the descent is to actually maintain a separation, a split between these stones and these stones, to keep them apart. And again, I keep saying to all of you guys, the fundamental strategy in Go, above all other strategies, is separate your opponent's stones. Keep your own stones connected, cut your opponent into small pieces. So white ataried, or no came out, preparing to envelop that group. So I attached that way. White now seeing the danger, and the danger is of black connecting here to here and engulfing these stones or rendering them without 2 eyes. White came out. So black jumped. And white attached. And then black wedged in. Again, the shape here is very good. This is a series of tiger mouths, all connected. The other important thing here is that because of these tiger mouths, it's not possible for white to ignore this. If white plays here, black cuts here, and that's almost sealing the fate of this group here. But in the event it was a double blow, so white actually connected there, but then black could atari, it could hane here. White cuts, black simply extends. The reason for the extension is just to gain liberties for this group, because even though this group is a bit fragile, if it can get out into the centre, it can gain liberties. White pushed an atari, black must connect. White threw in, black took. and then white came this side. Notice again, you know, this group has only got 2 liberties, the white group has got 2. So long as this black group has got more than 2, which it has, it doesn't have to fear attack, because it can always kill the group at the top. It can kill the 18 line group of white stones. So white then tries to make some eyes on the outside, or get outside. Notice that's not an eye, because these 2 stones form what we call the eye stealing Tetsuji, and there isn't an eye here for white either, because of the presence of these black stones here. So white has got to make 2 eyes on the edge, and the only way white could make 2 eyes on the edge would be by playing here, would make 1 eye, but then black would take that eye away by the second eye by playing here. So look, at the moment white's only got 1 eye. Black connects. It can't allow white to push in and separate. It can't allow white to play there and separate the 2 stones, and also get an Atari on these stones. A bit complicated, let's move on away from all those dots. Black connected. White pushed in, shortening black's liberties, so black Atari'd once, and then white pushed inside, and black made this shape to stop white throwing in and starting a co-fight. If black hadn't done that, if black had done something like this, white can start a co here, because if black takes it, then there's a vital co going on. I think, yeah, white would need to come out with a co thread here. Black connected. White harneyed. Black pushed. White closed. The white close was an Atari on these stones, but black simply connects. And now the black group here has still got 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties, and the white group inside has only got 2, so there's no problem for black here. So white pushes, black pushes, white pushes again, and what white's trying to do is get around this black group because of this vulnerability here. But black throws in once, Ataring the 2 stones, and white realizes that actually that fight's now over, and that all of these stones are now dead, and it's almost a resigned game. That's a big win. It's a huge reduction. It's a huge killing blow for black. So white attaches the lower left. Black jumps out on the right side of that. White hane, black hane, white connect. Black push into the corner to make sure that black has got 2 eyes. White comes inside. Black connects. White attaches under, black Ataris, white descends, black Ataris again, white connects, and then black makes 2 eyes. So black has got eyes, 1 eye here and a second eye here or here. There's nothing, so the black group in the lower left is now alive. No points, only 3 points, but it's alive. White connects, but black's unafraid. There's nothing to be done there. So black plays elsewhere. Black threatens to cut the white stones off and kill them. This is almost a 1 game now, because what black's got in its sights now is this white group that doesn't have any eyes at all. It's just a solid lump, and there it is. So white connects, and black seals the outside of the net. So what black is hoping to do is trap this black group, trap this white group in that kind of sack and render it without eyes. White jumps out, black comes up. Often in Go, when you're chasing a group like this, black's chasing this white group, and I don't mind if it lives. I really don't mind if it lives. If while harassing it, I can play these kind of moves, which are actually building me territory in this kind of area. particularly out here in the base of the triangle, whereas white is just running. White's playing stones and running like hell, black's making territory while it runs, and that's fine. White comes from the other side, black hane, white hane, black Atari to get a stone on the outside, white connects, black plays solidly, white hane, black hane, white connect, black makes shape, tiger mouth. Black comes out, sorry, white comes out, and black nets this stone. This stone is kind of the vital stone that's keeping this black group alive, because this white group here on the edge has got at least one eye and quite a lot of liberties. And actually, if the white stone at h13 came out or managed to live, then black would be in some trouble there, because white's got a lot of free liberties to fight with. It would be a nasty fight. So black just takes that stone out with a net. White jumps, trying to connect these stones to these stones. Black pushes, white blocks, black cuts, white Ataris, black comes out. White comes out. Comes inside, and he's threatening some kind of cut and Atari here. So the sequence that white's looking for, if black were simply to play elsewhere, let's say black plays there for the moment, white play here, here, here. Notice black can't play here because of the kill. So after this one, black plays here. It doesn't actually go anywhere, it doesn't work, but in the event, in the game, I Atari'd once here and then played safety. White took the stone, black Atari's back, white Atari's. I don't need to fight a ko here, so I simply connect. White comes out, but then black plays once to destroy all the eye space. Notice that this is a false eye. There's no eye here because of the Atari that's there. So white has to respond, and what I'm hoping, if it comes to the fight, is that inside here there's only space for white to have one eye. Black comes out, white comes out, black comes out, white comes out, black comes out, and now white's in serious trouble. This white group here has got 1, 2, 3 liberties. These two black stones here have got 4. These two here, that one's got 4, that one's got 4, and these have got 5. So white is in real trouble. White Ataris, or wedges in between to take liberties. So the two black stones now have only got 3, but black makes an Atari, and white resigns. White resigned because if white plays here, black simply plays here, and white can't do anything. This white group is now dead. And in fact, in terms of the game, they're dead. They're dead. These are dead. These are dead. And the life of this group here, including these, still hangs in the balance. So it's game over for white. Okay, guys, that was it. That's what I wanted to go through. The two things that I really wanted you to see, just going back. This move here. Let's just go through it again. This exchange. That's the mistake. That's the mistake by white. White must extend one more time to protect that cutting point. It's a real error. And I will do another video on basic josekis for beginners, the 3 or 4 must-knows. And these are josekis for double-digit cues. Since the advent of AI in 2016, lots of these have changed. There are lots of new ones come in. Lots of what were the old josekis are now considered old-fashioned josekis since the advent of AI. But if you're a double-digit cue player, if you're new to Go, these are absolutely vital and valid josekis to learn. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the game review. Hope you took the learning points. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. If you like the way I teach, if you like what I'm doing on 10 Minutes to Go, then by all means please subscribe. That would be great. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.